Hello everybody, well here it is, it's night time now and yeah, it's finally arrived. So here is my Heller 1/72 scale E-3B AWACS. The kit number is, where is it? It's on the end of the box here somewhere. 80308. It's not actually the kit number that they say on Amazon. I got this from Amazon. It was about £36 and you can get it on interest free for 3 months for about £12 a month. Yay! And then somebody, I talked about it today in my video about the monthly update, and somebody said they saw it for 30 quid, so I've been and ordered another one. Just for 30 quid, it's worth having another one, isn't it, just in case. So I think this is my first Heller kit I've ever bought. It's certainly the first Heller kit I've ever bought since they've been sort of revamped. I think they've been bought out by somebody and they're re-releasing all their old stuff, and some of it is a bit junk. But this is an old Heller kit that's been reboxed. Well, go back and look at my 707 video and it will tell you about all the various reboxings of this kit, including Airfix, Gunsangyo, Heller, can't think of any others, but yeah, so there you go. So this is the AWACS. It's the American version with the TF33 engines. If you want to build a French one or a German one, I think it is, or a British or RAF E3 Sentry, you're going to have to get the Airfix kit or the Heller kit with the CFM 56 engines. I don't think this kit has got those engines in it. So I've also got some aftermarket here which we can have a look at afterwards. So the kit is basically 1/72 scale. It's 108 pieces. It's 647 by 617 and it has millimeters, and it has 2 decorations provided. And when we get down to the bench in a minute, I'll show you these 2 decorations. One of them is very, very pretty indeed. I may well build the other one like that just because it's so pretty, but we shall see. The aircraft is currently no longer used by the British. It is used by the Americans, but is going to start being replaced in 2027 by the E-7A. So that's the little 737-700 based aircraft, much smaller than this one. Obviously a lot more economical to run, probably a lot cheaper to run, a lot more cheaper on maintenance and everything. Lower crew numbers, no doubt. This probably cost savings are massive. Anyway, without further ado, let's get to the bench, see what this is like. And yeah, I've heard some horror stories about Heller, like parts being loose in the box and just floating around and all getting broken and coming off the sprues and everything. So we shall see. I mean, it's certainly not, like a sprue made to the box size, is it? We shall see. Right. Let's get to the bench. Alright, so as we can see here, the box is huge. I'm not going to get it all in the camera because you've just seen it behind me. So here it is, E-3B AWACS, 108 pieces, blah, 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 blah. www.heller.fr. And there's the lovely box art on the front, which is quite a classic old box art now. So we look around the box here and we can see Heller Hobby GmbH, so they've now become German, whereas they were French, even though Heller FR Europe. So I don't know what's going on there. Somebody did tell me this is part of the what's the name for the trumpeter kits? I can't remember now. Glow 2B. Somebody told me this is part of them or whatever, but we shall see. You can see the box is still sealed. It's a sort of hinged opening lid, and then we got some French information there. We got English. So we got French, Spanish, English, Italian, German, and the Netherlands. And you can see there what it's saying: intended for collectors over 14. See opposite table. Packaging instructions to be retained. Can be used as a storage box. Okay, can't see that. This is it won't be a storage box for this model because the wingspan's too big. But I suppose you could keep your cakes in it or something, couldn't you? End of the box, obviously I can't show you because the box is too tall. But we'll flip over here in typical Airfix style. There you go, look, you look at the kit that way, you flip it that way and you can see it, and you flip it back that way. Dear, listen to all that stuff in there. Here are the options that come in the box. So we've got AT00139, so that's 965th Airborne Warning and Control Squadron, Tinker Air Force Base, yay! Love Tinker Air Force Base. Oklahoma 1990. So you can see her there in all her glory. So if you're doing that one, don't go too much weathering because she's only a year old at that point. Oh no, she's 10 years old, sorry. And then we've got this one here. This is LXN90442 NAEW and CF, whatever that stands for. 50th anniversary livery. Geilenkirchen NATO Air Base, Germany, 1999. Very, very pretty scheme with that nice dark blue upper. That Outlaw paints blue for the lifeboat will probably be quite good for that. That looks very, very nice indeed. Does look very pretty though. It's got the blue engine nacelles as well. So there we are. Right, and it's 647mm long. So it's 647 long, 617 wingspan. So it's quite a big old model. And you'll see in here that this is actually a lot bigger than the KC-135. I don't like moving this box around. Listen. Right, so as you, oh, we've got the back of the box as well. Try and move it around without rattling the parts around too much. I hope it's not all broken. So on the back here you can see we've got some we've got the 6 languages again. We've got some information about the aircraft. We've got here year of construction 1977. 68 were built. It's 372 kilonewtons of power. It's a maximum speed of 858 kilometers an hour and has a wingspan of 44.45 meters. Come down here and we've got the Heller Humbrol paint callouts there. So you've got the Revell colour callouts as well, which is no doubt the enamels, not their aqueous range. I'm not sure, I'll have to check on that. And then here we've got choose your desired article and download the instructions. So you go to the Heller website and you can download your instructions so you can have them on your computer rather than use the instructions in the book. And then here we have the decal sheet, which looks very, very nice indeed. I hope it's not all wrinkled up in there because of everything rattling around in the box. Looks like we have got some instrument decals, but this is all for the NATO version, and then down here we've got the US Air Force version. So very nice. I don't know why they've got a Heller decal there. We're not going to use that, are we? We've got our door decals there, refueling, and then we've got all the NATO flags there. So that's a very, very pretty aircraft. It says down here 1987 is the year of mould manufacture. The actual original mould for this was made in 1985, I believe, but then it was 87 they made the AWACS. So I think the fuselage is all going to be although actually no, to be fair, it won't have windows, will it? So yeah, 87 is the tooling, and then 2021 is a fully revised mould. How do you fully revise a mould? I wonder how they do that. Right, I've now got to turn this box over and put it up on end. There we go. And I'm going to cut the tape for the first time so we can see what carnage we've got in this box together. Will this be going back to Amazon? The other thing I want to say about this, I don't know if you can see it on here, but you can make it on there. They actually, Amazon put a sticker on the box, okay, with my name and address, and they left it outside the door. So this was left in its bright yellow and blue box outside my front door. Could have been there all day for anybody to walk past and snatch. So, God dear. What's going on here? Why won't it open? So much going on here. It doesn't want to open. What is actually going on? I can't see. Oh, it's got tape on the sides here as well. Got tape on the sides of the box, so we'll cut that away and then it'll open. Right, it's tape on these corners back here, so bear that in mind. So we're going to lift this up, and oh, they've got some paper in there, so they've taken the time to carefully package it for us. So I'm going to put the light on now. So we've got keep out model building in progress. They've pinched Moss's idea, haven't they? Let me show you my model kits. No. We've got this one here, which is a little Heller catalogue. So we've got aviation, so this is all the kits. They've re-released the Constellation again. They've actually even re-released the radar one as well. I noticed that on the AWACS one. I saw that on Amazon. So that might be quite nice. So we got... they haven't released anything new by the look of it. It's just all old kits, all retooled. So that 125th. Yeah, they did this run of 125th scale airline. As you can see, there is an A320AF Air France, Super Puma 72nd scale, F-16 Dark Falcon 48th, and then we got a DC-6A Super Cloudmaster. That might be quite a nice model to build, 172nd scale. Interestingly enough, it doesn't give you details about the kit. It tells you the part number and the actual scale, but the actual information it gives you here, it does tell you 103 pieces and the size, but it's actually not that big. There's a C-47, and then we got a Constellation from Air France, 2 decorations provided, and then here we got the Constellation TWA, and then here we've got a Caravelle and Concorde in 100 scale. So, but I can't see, and there's the E-3B AWACS there. So you can go onto heller.com and download all your bits and pieces. So here we have the instruction manual and the decals. They've thoughtfully put the decals inside the instruction manual, so that's very good. So they don't get all damaged. You can see we've got 2 sheets there. So we've got one for NATO and one for the US Air Force. Heller's own paints. I'm not sure what they'll be like. Structures there, nice and brightly coloured. And we've got colour callouts. And they're sensibly here showing us how to paint, the dimensions and everything. So that's pretty cool. And then the decal placement. So that's right. I actually saw one of these built at the Avon Model Show in this scheme, and it looked absolutely stunning. In fact, there's a picture of it on my on the video that I made. So yeah, it's interesting to see. We have a cockpit, tailplanes, undercarriage, engines, fuselage going together. Interesting. Packaging is interesting. We've got this lovely black paper, which has got some holes in it, and we've got these plastic parts all just flailing around. They've sensibly put the clear parts in a bag, so that's cool. So that's very nice. And we've got the 707 fuselage here. It's in this typical sort of Heller light grey plastic. What is very nice about this, it's thicker. It's much thicker than the AMT KC-135, and you can see here how much bigger it is as well. It's huge. We do actually have, I don't know if you can see that. If I can catch it in the light, but if I turn the light off, can you see that there? There's a witness of the actual windows from the 707 kit. So they've obviously made an insert on the inner tooling that fills those windows up, and we can see it from the outside. So that's going to need plenty of sanding and primer. We've got this big sink line along there. That door's sunken in as well. If you wanted to, you could actually make this as a 707, because these days you buy decals, don't you, for the windows and everything. So if you're after a cheap 707, this is your way to go. But yeah, but it's nice and strong and solid. That's what's nice to see. Nice and straight along there because it's so thick. So yeah, cool, lovely. So yeah, the packaging is it's actually not too bad. They're obviously thinking about the environment and not using plastic bags. So it's all wrapped up in black paper, and then down here we've got the main upper wings, and we've got the belly there. And the packaging has meant that all these, I know there's one broken off there. So yeah, there's one broken off, that's a shame. But if you've got the aftermarket set, you're going to replace them anyway. But it shouldn't be too much to actually replace that one. But it all seems to have this, I'm not sure if it's in the plastic or if it's actually in the moulding, but it has this kind of rough, almost like it's come out the mould too early. I don't know if you could see it. But it's kind of rough finish. Anyway, let's get the box to one side, have a look at the instructions, and then we'll see what we think of the rest. All right, so we've got our instructions here. 80308 is the kit number, nice bright yellow cover, and they're advertising their paints there, as we can see. So the decal sheets, the one for the US Air Force, They look very nice indeed, these decals. They've got all individual, they're a little bit glossy, which is good. Generally if they're matte, it means they don't tend to go down so well. Instrument panel there and some other bit of instrumentation there. So we've got the, this is going to be for the AWACS part. This is going to be for the engines, I believe. Got some door markings there. We've got the blackened nose, stars and bars, flags, tail fins, and then some other little bits and pieces. So yeah, it's all quite nice. They look quite thin. Not sure about halodecals, what they're like, but they may well be cartograph. Who knows? I think if they were, they would have cartograph plastered all over the box, wouldn't they? And then here we have the NATO ones. So we've got the NATO 50th anniversary, 1949 to 1999. And you can see we've got all the flashes there for the radar. We've got our flashes here for the fuselage. That's going to come out of the blue. And then serial codes there, and then all our individual flags there. Yeah, they're actually in strips. So you've got all the members of NATO there, which go along the side of the fuselage. And we've got these little NATO symbols here. Geilenkirchen. So yeah, they look very nice decals. It'd be very interesting to see how they go down. And as I say, I've got 2 of these kits, so I could probably build one NATO and one US Air Force if I could be bothered. I probably wouldn't finish either of them, would I? Anyway, so we've got some information about the aircraft there again. We've got all about the engines and the sizes and everything. This model is plastered in information about the real aircraft. So here we've got all the colour callouts, and what's nice, they're giving you a number and a description, so that's good rather than just having a number like most companies do. So you can see here we've got 33, 40, 56. They're the paints you're going to need there. Straight away you can see up here 33, 40, 56. They are matte black, pale grey gloss and aluminium. Now it's worth looking up your references and see which pale grey gloss this is. It's probably H338, is it? It's that very, very light grey. But don't take my word for it, look it up. So you've got all your colour callouts there. We've got a nice little cockpit going together. So we've got a pilot, co-pilot, we've got a flight engineer, and there's a jump seat there. I'm not sure if they have a radar operator or something up in the front, but there we go. So we've got our fin going together here. So the fin is, as you can see, separate. Tailplanes going together. Nice to see they've got a plastic rod on there which is going to go right through. Building up the main undercarriage legs. All the painting instructions are on there. And then we've got the nose gear going together. As I said in my 707 video, you can get photo etch for this model, and it covers all the detail on all of this. You can really smarten it up with all that. Engines going together, so you've got the main actual engine, that's the turbine part of the engine with the combustion chamber and everything. And then here's your bypass part with your fan up at the front. So that's going together there. We don't have photo etch for the fan on this one. We only have photo etch for the J57 engines, and that is in the AWACS set, the Hanant set airwaves for the KC-135. So if you're going to build one of these with well, you can't. It wouldn't be accurate. But if you're building a 135 with the J57 engines, you've got the fans, but you don't have the fans for the. I don't think anybody does photo etch fans for the TF33s. 4 engines going up together. Make a note 9, 10, 11, 12 because they're going to be different. You've got different pylons. These are longer than those. So there's going to be left and right, front and rear. Left and right. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 is basically how the engines are going to be. So here you can see we've got our fuselage halves going together. We've got some drilling to do. We've got some antenna to add. Nice to see that they've added the antenna as separate parts so we can work on the fuselage and then bung them in afterwards, which is really cool. Thank you for that, Heller. Very good. Got some kind of air intake there. And we've got some more antenna going on and some windows going in there. Wings coming together. I believe this is going to be the same as the ANT-135 with the flexible wings. So it's probably best. It may be thicker plastic. It may be okay, but we'll have a look at that in a minute. And then we've got undercarriage going in. And then here we're going to add the actual AWACS radar itself. We're adding the engines here, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So make sure you get your engines in the correct sequence. They will probably only fit one way, to be honest. Remember, they have to be 90 degrees to the wing. And then that's it. It's done. So the whole model is done in 15 steps. And then we've got our colour call-outs here, which are very nicely done. All the decal placements go in there. I really do like the way they've done this. This is lovely. And we've got our colour on there. I wish they would give us FS numbers, but it's easy enough to look up and find out. But I think you'll find this is H338, which is that very, very light grey. And then here we've got the white trailing edges on the wings, the white fin, and we've got the white elevators and everything there on the tailplane. So all very nice. And then you've got the black and white radar on that. So it's going to look absolutely beautiful built up. And then here, same grey again. Obviously it's a grey aircraft. And then they've painted the upper part of it blue to do this 50-year celebration. And they've given us all the dimensions here. So 205mm back, 14mm wide, 9mm down the side. It's going to be very, very difficult to do because the dimension they've given you is you're going to have to measure it vertically on a curved surface. You've got the 34mm there. But I'm sure if you get it somewhere handy, it will be okay, because it only really matters. Actually, I thought that decal might actually, I thought it might match. I thought those flashes were for the radar, they're for the fin. I thought it would matter where the position of the paint line was because it had to match that decal, but it doesn't. So this doesn't need to be 100% precise. You can get it near as damn it. And then you've got all your decals going on there for this very, very bright, colourful scheme. And then give it a lovely gloss coat and it will look lovely. And then here they're telling you, visit us digitally. You can go onto their website, download the instructions and have them on your computer, should you not want to use these paper ones. So there you are. So if you're thinking about getting a Heller kit and you want to see what it's like, you can no doubt go to their website, www.heller.fr, go down, download their, have a look at the kit you want, download the instructions and have a look and see what you think. And if it looks like a bag of old poo, then don't buy it. And there we go. So that's our instructions and our decals looked at. I put the decals down on top of the box and they stuck to the residual glue from the lovely Amazon sticker. I've ordered a second one and I've put it down as a gift. I'm hoping that will stop the stop them putting the sticker straight on the box. Something I hadn't noticed earlier, on the box here, we can see we have how to apply the decals in the water for 15 seconds. And then apply, and then dry, and then protect decals under model with clear and model with clear varnish. There you go. There's a good old tip for you there. Right. So first thing come out of the box was at the bottom. This is these wings. So we have the upper sections, which are much more rigid than the AMT ones. We've got the centre section, which again is much more rigid. It's much thicker. But you may want to do the same as they did on the AMT kit and cut these flanges away. I'm going to do a video on how to do it soon and put the plastic strips in. So there we are. So that's that. So again, we've got this kind of, I don't know if you can make this out. You can see it there now. We've got this sort of raised area around the panel lines. The Revell 144747 is bad for this. So what I would recommend is you thoroughly just give the model a very light coat of a darker colour paint, dark grey or black or something, whatever you've got loads of, just a very thin coat, and then sand it off until you've got all the grey plastic showing through, and that'll show you then when you're all level. You can see it's a little bit bulged there. It's going to look a bit funny, especially if you give it a gloss coat. That's going to look a bit weird. Now this wing here is much better. Okay, so bear that in mind. It's an old tool. It was 1987. What are we now? 24. So it's 37 years old, the tooling. So you know it's had a bit of use, and especially if these are common with the 707. They've probably done 100,000 bloody runs with it. But I like the way they got these sprues here protecting everything, so you don't get the damaged edges like we get on the AMT kit. But all looks very nice, very simple undercarriage bays. But basically, if you're thinking about the 1/72nd scale AWACS E-3D Sentry from Airfix, this is basically the kit, but with different engines. So that's our big wing sections. We'll put those down over there. And then remove some of this black paper. So we've got our fuselage sections here, which we've already had a quick look at. But again, you can see here this door. That door is really stepped in, so that needs to be filled and smoothed and sanded, and then just put the decal over it. Don't worry about having the line around it. We've got that door there as well. Remember, in that aftermarket set I showed you from DJ Parking, you get the actual interior door details, so you can have the door open. But hopefully you can see what I'm talking about. It's quite rough. And when I say rough, I don't mean grainy like the Airfix 124th Hellcat. I mean it's quite, you can probably see here, over that door. There's a great big bulge in the plastic. It's like it's come out of the mould too quickly. You've got sink marks here. It won't matter, of course, if you give it a flat coat, if you flatten it, but if you're giving it a gloss coat like with that blue one, you want to get this all lovely. Otherwise it's going to look bloody awful. And you really don't want to see those bloody windows. I'm going to try and show you what I mean. I'm going to put some black pencil over these windows. And if I get a fine, this is a worn out 600 grit stick. There we go. You can see the windows. Now luckily it looks like they're raised, so if we just lightly sand until all the pencil's gone, we should be able to get rid of them. Either that or give it a good coat of primer. Yeah, that's certainly one way of doing it. But remember to keep going in circles. You don't want to put flats on there. You want to leave your nice radius shape down the side. Pretty heavy panel lining, but you know it's there. It's nice. It's a bit inconsistent. You can see that line there is going in and out and in and out. But you know, hey, it's an old kit. But yeah, all in all, it looks quite nice, doesn't it? It's a big old bird. Nose looks nice. We got the anti-static bits on there. So be careful when you're sanding not to remove them. We've got integral undercarriage doors, but you get in that Brengan aftermarket set, you cut those off and replace them with photo etch. But yeah, all in all, quite nice. Quite nice. You can see here there's another mould line there. I don't know what's going on. I think the tooling has seen better days, to be honest. It's obviously not had an easy time. So take that black sheet off of there. We've got the clear parts here. I'm not going to get them out of the bag. You can see we got our windscreen there with the eyebrows and everything. Not sure if the eyebrows should be there on this model or not. Are they on the artwork? Yes, they are. So not sure if they put them on these, but check your references. Certainly with your E-7A wedge tail, some had it, some didn't. So yeah, we've got little windows and stuff in there. So that's all very nice. And more black paper. So here we have another large sprue. So we've got our wing lower sections. Massive sink mark there. Massive sink mark. That's unfortunate. But the tail planes and everything look lovely. All the vortex generators are there. I believe this is the bottom of the tail plane. And I'm just wondering if these are the tail planes they took off and put on the KC-135s. I wonder if they're the same size as the KC-135 big tail planes. We'll have to have a look. Basically what they did, when they built the KC-135, they had the J57 engines, and then when the airliner 707s retired, they took the TF-33 engines and tailplanes off the 707s and put them on the KC-135s. So there you are. We've got some lovely sharp detail on there. You can see we've got the knacker ducts as well in the end of the wings. But that's really nice and sharp on those lower wings there. That's lovely. Very nicely done. We've got a great big sink mark there, which is going to be no problem to fill. You're going to put filler in there anyway. But you have got this thick section there, and that's got to mate with that wing centre section. So maybe do the same as been done before. But I will do a comparison in a minute with the tail plane from the KC-135. So there's that. That fin is very nice. We've got that great big probe on the top there. Again, we've got sink marks to there, but it's nothing to fill there. It's easy. fin is a vertical stabilizer for all you people across the pond. Let's take that piece of paper out of there. And then here we have some more fine detail parts. I must say this is done very well in transit considering the questionable packaging. So this is obviously our engine sprue. So we've got our main actual combustion chamber turbine section of the engine there. So we've got 8 of those to make 4 engines. And then here we've got our outer pylons and our inner pylons with our bypass fans on them there. You could have those doors open if you want to. We've got pilot seats here, or seats in general. Control columns, looking quite simple, but you're not going to really see any of it. We've got some fins and antenna and stuff, undercarriage legs. Nose gear looks like it might be a little bit weak, but as long as you don't start banging it around, you should be fine. Nose gear bay there. I'm assuming that's parts for the main gear bay. Got the cockpit floor here. And then we've got the nose wheel there, which is pretty much void of any detail. And then we've got the main wheels here and the other side of the main wheels there. We've got the fans, which are nice and crisply moulded. I'm not sure if there's any aftermarket for these. We'll have to have a look. I don't think there is. And then we've got our turbines at the back there. So yeah, it's all crisp. It's all nice and clean. It's quite cleanly moulded, especially for such an old kit. I mean, there's flash on there, look, but hey ho, what cares about flash on the sprue? But should build up into a very nice model actually. And then our final sprue, I think, yeah, this is our final sprue. This is our actual AWACS radar. Sink mark in the middle there, which is nothing. We actually get all the photo etch we get to replace all this, to cover it all up. And we've got the supports there, which are going to go in the fuselage. And then we've got the spinning part there, so it actually can spin. And we've got all our antenna there. We've got these are the probes for the wings. And if you remember, we need to cut sections of the wings out for them. But there we go. Some sort of intake there. And you can see the detail on there for the AWACS. As I say, if you get the DJ Parkin aftermarket set, you can sand all that detail off and replace it with photo etch. So, and underneath as well. So yeah, all in all, very, very nice. Right, so that's the kit. Let's just quickly look again at this photo etch. Now this is for the E3 Sentry and the Armée de l'Air E3. So this is for the French or the RAF AWACS, not the not this kit, but you can see I've got extra parts there. You can see this is the CFM 56 engines, so you won't be using any of that. And if you're thinking I'm going to go and buy this and use this on your KC-135, these are actually, I think these are a little bit too big, and I think the ones on the KC-135 are a little bit too small. Certainly, if you buy this kit with the CFM 56 engines, you need to move the pylons because the actual engines touch the ground when the plane sat on its wheels. But if you take away that, the rest of this is all going to be suitable for this model. So we've got this great big plate here, which has got all these extensions on it. So that is basically going to sit on there like that. Okay, and then you've got the one underneath, which is basically going to sit on there like that. So you have all the raised detail rather than just having these simple outlines. So you can use all that on there. We've also got on here, we've got the internal door detail. And we've got some templates for scribing stuff out so you can insert stuff in. You can see this here is a template that you put onto the side of the fuselage, and you actually scribe away the plastic and then fit the the part in. So I'm not really sure where that goes. Where is part 20? Just looking on here, part 20 is an overlay for the rear starboard door, which should be faired into the fuselage side. So rear starboard door is going to be this one. Okay, so that template is going to go there. Let's have a look at this a minute. That template's going to go there. You're going to put that on there, scribe away an area, and then you're going to fit this photo etch panel over the top. I don't quite understand why, but you are. I guess it's to get the rivet detail on there. I haven't got a clue, but very strange. And then you've got all these other little bits and pieces here which you actually use as these for cutting out to put pieces in. So very interesting indeed. But yes, it's a very nice set, but just remember it's not for the KC135 and all of that is not for this kit. Check your references on all of the other bits and pieces, because we got bits of antenna here going on over the windscreen, we got stuff here in the back, so make sure that you know what it is exactly you're doing. You've also got these static dischargers here, but make sure that whatever version you're doing had all this stuff. It may have only been on the French or the British one. You can see you've got these stiffer panels here for the windscreen and stuff, which is very nice indeed. So so that's that one, and that's very nice. And then you've also got this one, which I talked about in my 707 video, and this is the one that's very misleading, because it says it's for the Heller. If you remember, I started and never finished. Yeah, I know you're surprised. It's something I must get back out actually. I did the Valkyrie. Oh, come on. And I used the Bren Gun PE set for it, and none of it fitted. So hopefully this is better than that. But you can see in this one we've basically got two small sheets of photo etch in nickel silver, and we've got lots of wheel details, wheel brake details, loads there. You can see that's all vortex generators there. We've got bits and pieces here for the undercarriage, actuators for the doors. We've got more undercarriage panels, antenna, grills of some sort. We've got instrument panel. We've got internal panels for the undercarriage bays, main undercarriage bay internal panels. You can see more bits and pieces here. So mainly this is covering wheels, undercarriage, cockpit, and little bits and pieces. But it is lovely as long as it fits, and that's the main thing we need to look into. And I'll just quickly show you the instructions so you can see what you're getting. First thing is you're going to cut those doors away from the fuselage, these that are moulded on here. So it's telling you to cut that one away and that one there. And then you've got, in the PE set, you have got doors here. Okay, so you're going to use those doors there rather than the big chunky plastic things. And then you've got a whole load of panelling and hinges for your doors and everything for the nose gear bay. You're really going to tart that nose gear bay up. We've got some bits and pieces here going on the engines, some grills and stuff. More bits for that front landing gear door. Okay, well, that's the rear landing gear door, sorry, not the front. And then here we've got all the main undercarriage bay. We've got bits and pieces for the undercarriage, bits and pieces for the wheels. You've got rims there and the centres. I'd probably go aftermarket with the wheels on this, see if it's got the same size as the 737, and then use resin wheels for that. And then we've got all the door operating latches there, which is all very nice. You get all this in the DJ Parkin set as well. But it's very, very nice, as you can see. You've got all these bits and pieces that go, the little stiffeners that go underneath the cargo hatches and the doors and everything. So yeah, and then you've got all these vortex generators. Horizontal tail, upper surface, so they are on the upper surface. I think on the 135 they're on the lower surface. But there we go. So I could be wrong. I'm sure someone will tell me if I'm wrong. They normally do. So there we go. So that's the kit. That's the aftermarket. In this one you also get this these white metal bits as well for a raised dome on the roof and everything. But so there we go. And you can see I've got extra parts here because I was going to use these on another project and then they found it didn't fit. So there we go. So thank you for watching. That has been the Heller E-3B 80308. And it looks to be quite a nice little model. It's 30 quid for a model like this is bloody good. Now I went and bought another one tonight on Amazon, and it said one left after I bought mine, but it did say more on the way. But it's generally £46 and they've reduced it to 30. So there we go. I'll see you all soon. Thank you for watching, and any questions, pop them down in the comments below and we'll go from there. Bye.